And we are live here. The Gnostic Takeover, ready for action. And as it says in the title here, the war for the new signal has just turned hot. Yeah, you heard right. We're in the middle of a war, and I think everyone can see that that is the case, isn't it? However, why do you have to fight when you have already won? That's the question, isn't it? And what we're bringing forward to the table here is that what happened today. So, to give you a little bit of a background to this, so yesterday we did an interview with Mark Devlin, who's a fantastic researcher and author of two great books, Musical Truth 1 and 2, and he's about to publish the third part, I think, this month. I read both the first two books about the music industry and a lot of the occult background to the music industry and the manipulation of perception and the satanic influence over the entertainment industry that is the music industry. And an absolute brilliant two books, and I can only highly recommend it. So Mark, we've done an interview with him back in March also about the Austria situation, going into how the protests were developing, how we had more than 100,000 people already out in Vienna at the end of January, and so on and so forth. So, having had Mark contact me about the situation in Austria and asking me, well, Steve, what is going on in Austria? You're a little country in Austria here, no one ever hears anything of Austria. It sort of gets unnoticed. A country that's not really known for much publicity of much in the modern world system. How is it that suddenly we're going full berserk here? Forced vaccinations and lockdowns for the unvaccinated, and what's going on now? Next thing that we hear in the media, in the controlled environment of the media, is that Austrians are going to be facing 1 year in prison if they refuse that which I can't be censored on, which is the vaccine. Oh, the vaccine. They're gonna imprison healthy people for refusing an experimental injection on planet Earth that belongs to humanity and not to psychopaths and the archontic force that is really behind what is a takeover of planet Earth, a colonization of Earth, for which, as I say in the interview, and you can still watch the interview here on this channel, they have no authority and no legitimacy, due to the very fact that according to the natural order, in order to have any sort of power and influence, true power, you need to take responsibility for your actions. And you never see this vampire empire ever do that, do you? Do you see responsible behavior with the puppets that they place called government? I don't think so. So this is what is going on, and the interview was uploaded today in the morning, and guess what? 3 hours later, it's taken down on YouTube. Was it something that we said? Is there a little bit of a problem with two guys, me and Errol, who are the founders of the idea? Ideas are bulletproof, remember? The founders of the idea of Gnostic takeover. Can you remember back? Can you go back what we used to say? Oh, you lock us down? we take you down. The only solution. It's something we said. That's a problem. Because I thought we were little nobodies, little, a little bit being a little bit delusional, drinking a little bit too much ayahuasca, psychotic drugs, isn't it? And we're on a power trip, delusional, thinking that we're in charge here of this planet. And we're taking over Austria, and we're taking back the whole planet into the hands of humanity. So, let me get this right now. So these two delusional guys, only two people, not a huge following of hundreds of thousands of people like they show you in the movies. The only way how you can make any difference is you win a vote as a political party, and then on election day you get elected by the masses of the people, and then you can decide in your democracy what's going to happen next in your country, in full control over your country. No, just two people speaking live on air. Right now, it's just me speaking here. Okay, I'm going to have Errol on here soon again too, to complete the Gnostic Takeover crew and the message that we carry, the new signal that we carry. So we're a little bit off the boil, a little bit on a power trip, understanding the spiritual principles, and now we have the audacity to claim that in actual fact we're in charge. And we can say that we're in charge, and we're in charge of Austria, and we don't even have to sit in the president's office or in the prime minister's office or in anyone's office. In actual fact, I can sit anywhere or stand anywhere or be anywhere in Austria and be in charge. You know why? Because it's a new signal that I'm on the receiving end of, which is dictating my perceptions, the energetic and informational input of my perceptions are coming from a new mainframe, which makes me have dangerous ideas, which makes me be fully empowered and say vaccine as often as I want without getting censored. You're living proof on here. So the interview that we did with Mark Devlin was taken down on Mark's channel, but is still running on our channel. How is that? Obviously, it also has to do that they didn't want this video to expand further and reach even more people than it already did, and they panicked. And this is why I say the war on the new signal turned hot, because now we can see that, having not said anything relating to this scam, okay, because this is not about this COVIDian scam, which, as we said in the beginning of the interview, the entire, okay, and I'm critiquing the entire alternative media because I'm a good guy, okay, because I don't give a fuck what people think about me. I'm critiquing the entire alternative media having their lenses totally focused on one issue that is a non-issue. So this scam only exists, okay? The COVID cult scam since the beginning of 2020 is because we are the virus to them. We are dream busters. And this is what they call the corona. That which they cannot control. That which shows that they're not in control anymore. And you can now see this being played out right in front of you, with our videos still standing. And let's see. Shall we see if there's any chance of these hidden control freaks if they can take anything on this channel down. Because my hypothesis, okay, I'm not saying that it is so, but let's see if it stands up to scrutiny, shall we? My hypothesis is they can't censor anything we do right now. And they really showed how much of a panic they're in with the move they just made. Oh, it's great. These are really fun times. These are really fun times. It's what we've been waiting for, certainly what I've been waiting for since my initial awakening of 2009. And I remember why I came here. And it's not to be kept in a perpetual loop of perception where nothing ever changes. What we've just been through the last 2 years is hell. This is what hell looks like, yes. And before that, that was also hell, okay? That's why the Gnostic takeover is doing what we're doing, which is to take over completely, because we have legitimacy. Guess what? We have legitimacy because of the very fact that we are transparent. We share information openly, free of charge, because we carry the charge. You see how this works? We're not constrained by any monetary systems of control. It's not how we work. And therefore we have full legitimacy because, to the best of our knowledge at all times, we share the truth. And yes, I mean it. What we speak, what me and Errol speak, is the truth. And it matters not if you believe it or not, because I know that I'm only speaking from my heart. And at any moment where I speak, it's out of control because I don't know what I'm going to speak next. Because all I want is to document this takeover. Attention, this is a takeover. What we are taking over is an entire reality. To be honest, I personally don't care if the Earth is a globe or if it is flat. In my book, the Earth plane is a dimension. It's a reality. And we, as carriers of the new signal, officially declare that we are taking over this reality because we take full responsibility of our actions. And this is the great responsibility that is necessary in order to be carriers of the new signal, because otherwise it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. Okay. So what I also want to mention here, and thank you, and I've already written to Mark also, I want to thank Mark from the bottom of my heart, because I think the interview was very challenging for Mark yesterday. It was also very challenging for us because we cannot control our perceptual state, and what we say is what needs to be said in any moment, and sometimes that can also be uncomfortable because we are beings of feelings. Sometimes I feel a little bit uncomfortable also coming out with this new language, coming from a new state of perception that is the new signal that we're talking about. A signal that we are being informed by. And it's a new language where you don't just observe and analyze the situation and what they are doing, because it's a switch of perception, and now it is about what you are doing and them having to react. This is why we say we're in charge here, because tables have turned. And the way you can see this is, instead of analyzing and talking about the dark occultists and what are they going to do and what are they going to do next and what's happening right now and what's going to happen in the future, now we're talking what we are doing and what we're going to do, and they can't do nothing about it. Nothing. 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 Absolutely nothing. You cannot influence the new signal. I know you would really love nothing more than finally, in some miraculous way, with some scientific hacker solution that you suddenly came up with, and you could influence the new signal and get back control because you want to destroy, because you hate yourself, because you cannot feel love, you cannot feel passion, you cannot understand the beauty of sentient beings expressing their life force into creativity, everything that you are not. Are you listening to this, you little archons? Demiurge possessed programs with no feelings, no creativity, wanting to only destroy that which is life. These people are sick, and they deserve to be treated as the sickness that they are. Okay? If you really think that you'll change things by sending them love and light, I'm sorry I have to say that you're full of shit. They do not deserve it, and they cannot absorb it, because they're a black hole of sickness. They are incredibly sick. We're dealing with the worst forms of psychopathy that this planet has ever seen, and they do not deserve any of our empathy, because this fake empathy has been the downfall of humanity for time immemorial, and is exactly the reason we are still in the situation that we're in no longer. This is what people have to learn, and have to listen to Errol when he speaks about what true love really is. Because he's right on the target when Errol speaks about divine violence. Yeah. The masculine form of love. I gave the example when a child is being raped. You're not going to just watch on, are you? When true love is, you tear anyone apart who does that. That is true love. And this is what we bring forward as one of the aspects of the new signal. So again, I also want to emphasize that many informations are coming in, and there's many more things to come still from the Gnostic takeover. And you see what happens when we do one single interview with the alternative media. That was the first one after the activation that happened in St. Corona. Everything starts to panic and goes completely crazy, and the video is censored inside 2 to 3 hours. That's what happens when you carry the new signal. And unfortunately, it hit Mark with his channel and the strike onto his channel, for which we obviously And I wrote an email to him. We apologize. Sorry. Was it something we said? But I think that's the hit that we need to take for now in order to make a real difference and to make everyone aware that it's not just some opinion we're voicing here on this channel. Okay? This is real, and it's just been shown that this is absolutely real, what we're doing here. And they are very afraid because they have no idea what's going to happen next. And there's many things coming in with us. Okay, we're taking time. This is a little bit of an update on our situation. So we're still looking for a new home, and this will happen when the time is right. However, we're doing very good where we're at right now. We're going to the river every single day in the ice cold water. We go and slay in the river, do our breathing exercises before that by Wim Hof. Absolutely beautiful. And that's what really charges us with the new signal. You come out of that water and you just feel reborn, balance. If people only knew, it's always been right in front of people. Is it a river? Is it a lake? Is it the sea? It's right in front of you at all times. And go out there in winter and really immerse yourself into nature, into the deep water, merge with the elements of water. That's true power. That's where we get our power. Okay, that's actual power. And doing it every single day, it balances you and it cleans you. So there's many new informations coming in which we'll share with you on this channel that cannot be censored. My hypothesis, that stands to be corrected. The challenge is up to the dark occult to try and hack in to that new signal. Don't think you can, but let's give it a fair try, shall we? And yeah, this is what has happened today. The first interview on the alternative media, and things go crazy. And again, big thank you to Mark Devlin for having us, because I'm not getting through to anyone on the alternative media. Can you imagine? Okay, we're not getting through to anyone, and I'm naming names also here. Okay, George Cavasilis, Max Egan. Okay, with Max, we know that he's still looking for a place to live in Mexico, and Max is always busy. So yeah, I mean, it is kind of strange being in the situation that we're in, where we have important information to share with people that we want to just bring forward. We're ready to go at any moment. However, it looks like there is something going on here also in the alternative media. And all I want to say is, okay, and this has this doesn't need to have anything to do with the people that I just named, okay, who are doing great work on the level that they're on. But talking in general terms, I want to make you aware of the fact that when you know that the way you're implementing an agenda is going to trigger massive opposition to you implementing that agenda of technocracy, of technologically taking over a living being that is a planet, the Earth. When you're going to do that, you know you're going to get opposition, obviously. So you need to control that opposition. And why is it so difficult for us to get interviews in the alternative media? This is something that we've been pondering on. Okay, so there is a massive web of controlled opposition in the alternative media that is designed to keep people in the trap of searching for the truth. and keeping them entertained in continuous feedback loops of the same old, same old, same old. It has turned into an entertainment industry, and it's sick, okay? And I don't care who wants to judge me on that. I'm gonna say it anyway because I am tasked to do so. I will never ever hold back, and I will also never even hold back in naming names. But this is still too early in the discussion because this is something that me and Errol are also going to focus on. This is not about dividing the movement or anything. No, if we have to accept that the truth is of paramount importance and has to be the foundation of any successful movement, has to be the truth. And we're not coming on here and telling you he's controlled the position, she and they are controlled the position, and now you have to believe us. That's why it says right here, okay? That's why it says right here, can you see? The Gnostic takeover. Free exploration of ideas. Freedom. And if my freedom is granted, I grant anyone's freedom. So anything I say, put it under scrutiny. Question everything. Question me. Write it in the comment sections and tell me where I'm going wrong. Okay? That's what true Gnosticism is all about. Challenging, intellectually, spiritually, emotionally challenging on all levels, even physically, okay? We can have the old fight. But just for fun, okay? A web of controlled opposition. And we've been having experiences where we talk about what it takes to finally have a solution to this problem. A holistically sealed, holistically sealed solution where we say it's not enough to not comply. Okay, this is like you go, how can I explain this? It's not enough to not comply with a mask order, for example. This, to not comply with the agenda, is the first step. But to have the audacity and to have the sickness, okay, to demand from human beings the wearing of muzzles should activate in you what Errol rightly calls, divine violence. It should make you and trigger your divine violence inside of you, and to not lash out at someone and physically abuse people that carry the archontic virus. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about, but it should spurn you into action. It should motivate you into action. So not complying is the first step, and then you take over. This is the solution. You have to take over. And you don't just go right out and head to the president's office and say, you guys are out, I'm coming in. No, it's not how it works. It's not physically. First, you need to connect to the new signal. And the way you connect to the new signal is by being subscribed here on this channel, listening to what we have to share with you. And the main points we give to you also what helps us carry the new signal and make us carriers of the new signal and the great responsibility that comes with that. What did I have to do for that? I had to stop eating meat. I had to stop smoking, stop drinking alcohol, stop eating cheese, realizing that it's about the codes in the food, and those codes come into resonance with the old signal of the matrix. And if I would continue consuming those things in my body, I'll be having an interference signal of the old signal with the new signal. You see? So the way I keep my signal clear is be aware what you eat. Of course. Okay, it's obvious. And drop the old habits like smoking and like alcohol and all that, and head into the ice cold river, the breathing techniques and the discipline that is required for that. Yeah, and what we are also going to be spreading, okay, love saying that because it's the dark occultist's worst nightmare, spreading the medicine and doing medicinal work, medicine work, ceremonies. We'll be doing that when the time is right. Spread it everywhere across the planet. Mother Ayahuasca. It's symbolized in the movie They Live with the Glasses. You start to see the archons. And you can navigate through the world in a much better way. So, yes, there's still a lot to do, but the main impact point is the most important. The point where it is even shown in your reality experience that these oh so powerful controllers have totally lost control over you. They can't censor this channel, as I said. They've lost complete control. So it turns out that throughout your entire life, and this is what I've been through, this is what Errol's been through also, throughout your entire life, the system's trying to tell you one thing always. You're nothing. You can't do anything. You're not good enough. You cannot change reality. You want to change the world? Look at us. We control everything. It's a lie. And the control freaks who control everything and run a multi-dimensional matrix control system suddenly are busted. They have an Achilles heel. And it has to do with morality. And when you're in moral code and you act the right way and you make the right choice and you're in right livelihood where you're not harming other sentient beings around you, but you're doing the opposite. You're empowering yourself and you're empowering the people, not by bullshitting them and telling them lies and sort of ways how they can have hope. No, hope is bullshit. We don't need hope. Where's hope ever gotten us? No, clarity, clear words, and a different language where you tell the president you're privately liable and it's time to leave, okay? Because you're on planet Earth here. This is my home and you're not fucking doing this any longer. You're not continuing this genocide because guess what? You've messed with the wrong people. Because we're here on this earth. This is our home. We know that we only exist because of our relationship with Mother Earth, and the Great Mother told me to tell you to fuck off. We're not doing this anymore. Pedophilia and Satanism and masks are forbidden. And you can stick your vaccine up your ass, okay? That's the new language. And fuck off. Because we're living here. We're the living here, okay? You are the dead. And you burn in hell. Get purified by the source. And hope you get a new chance. But that's none of my business. I couldn't care less. All I know is that you sickness have to leave this planet and you have to leave now. As simple as. And that's me being nice. Because I'm a good guy. Who happens to not take any bullshit. Good. So, just as a summary, the war is won. We have won the war, big celebration waiting to happen very soon. Still steps to go, things to do, but that'll be fun. The biggest challenge that we've ever faced was doing what we did in St. Corona, nuke the satanic high priest's place through medicinal work. Okay, you can check that out on Next Level Shamanism on the video where we explain that. And now, today, our very first interview. Okay, the interview we did with Luma the other day was sort of like more of a private space, but yesterday we did our first interview with the alternative media with the great Mark Devlin. And after 2 to 3 hours, it got censored. So what does that tell you? I'll make you make up your own mind about what that tells us, and the possibility that the dark occultists don't quite really like what the Gnostic takeover is all about. And it's painful for them, therefore it's very good for us. So stay tuned to the channel. We'll speak soon, share many more things and insights and concepts and ideas for, guess what? Freedom. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? Freedom, the basis of all life and what life is all about. You can't do anything without freedom. And that has to do with truth. Freedom and truth, honor and integrity. This is what this channel is dedicated to do. Until next time, take very good care. Question everyone, question everything, question yourself, slay yourself and the bad habits that make you be pulled down in a low vibration. Recognize these bad habits that do not serve you any longer and drop them like a hot potato, because you're going to do something different now. Okay? We're on to something big here together, and this is what it's all about. They didn't think they were up against a beast like we are. A beauty and a beast. A beast for them, the beautiful creation. Humanity is the force that they have to reckon with, and the force that defeats them. We defend our plane, and you have to leave our home. It's our home. It's our mother planet. And this is the planetary intelligence speaking to you. Till next time, take very good care. Bye bye.